So, a couple of my friends have asked me recently what they should do to improve their netrunner play. They want to start playing a bit more competitively, and the thing I've suggested to everyone who's asked me that is to learn to play Fast Advance, NBN Fast Advance. It's such a dominant part of the meta at the moment, and by learning to pilot the deck, not only do you learn how to pilot an effective corp deck for tournaments, but also you learn what its weaknesses are, how you can play counter to it by watching other people do just that. And so when you come up against it, you can start to envisage the game from the other side of the table, which I think is an important skill when you're in that kind of tournament environment. So I've recorded a few games last Sunday, so a couple of days ago, with a Haarps called Fast Advance shell, which I threw together. So here's the list. I just want to go through it quickly. Then there should be 5 games, just 5 people I picked at random off Jinteki, with some commentary on, so you can see me play the games and go through the decision tree. There are some stumbles on both sides in all of the games, and anything that I say in the commentary is certainly not intended as a kind of bag on my opponent. It's probably more me just being surprised at some of the stuff that they're doing or not doing. So quickly, I just want to go through the deck. The heart of any Fast Advance deck is, of course, the AstroScript, Project Beal, San, and Cyberdeck's kind of combination, which means that what you're going to be doing is drawing into agendas that you can score out from hand, and then as soon as you've got an Astro scored, you just want to keep drawing into those 3/2s and score them out. This is a slightly unconventional list. It's got 4 2-1s, the 3 breaking news and the 15 minutes. It's also got 2 global foods, just to drop the agenda density back down to 11 to make room for those extra 2-1s. It's because there's a Haarps called Kill deck flying around at the moment, which everyone's quite nervous about playing against, and really I just want to present as that for as long as I can before people start seeing where my influence is. Other choices I've made, my ice suite is pretty unconventional. I like role-playing ice, which kind of do different things, and so I tend not to run 2-ofs or 3-ofs of ice when I can pick singletons of lots of different kind of ice and then make a decision as I draw into them where they're going to live and what role they're going to play in that particular game. Traditionally, 3 Jacksons. There are some things I'd change about this deck, having played it a few times. The Singleton Franchise City was an include from a previous build of this, but the reality is, and as you'll see in some of the games, I just draw it and throw it away or never install it. It's a completely dead card in this list. The All-Seeing Eyes are tech against the Val DLR deck, which is flying around at the moment, but they're also the reason that I wanted to include 3 breaking newses, because in games where you aren't facing Val DLR, a breaking news with an Astro token and an All-Seeing Eye in hand can be a really effective board reset against a resource-heavy runner. Apart from that, everything in here is pretty normal. I'm a big fan of green level clearances as an Operation Econ Splash. I'm not going heavy assets, as you can see. I've got 1 news team and 1 DBS and 3 Jackson Howard, so I'm trying to make all my money out of my economy operations and then just burst out before they can get set up or do anything. In terms of ice selection, the couple of Gutenbergs are there mainly to, again, present as, hey, maybe it's a kill deck, maybe I should sit back, make sure I've drawn into an I've Had Worse or a Plascrete before I start going all out to try and steal agendas and R&D lock. And just that kind of psychological edge can buy you a little bit of time in a game to get set up, get your first San out behind some end the run ice, or not necessarily end the run ice, and get ready to score out your first Astro. Yeah, that's it. The deck is fairly self-explanatory. On to the games.